who is RQY Careers? Who are we? I've already told you who I am. I'm the CEO of RQY Careers, but who is RQY Careers? So RQY Careers is a UK-based tech-driven company dedicated to empower professionals as well as international students, international professionals, in their quest to excel in the competitive UK job market and secure their dream positions. So we've helped a wide range of people, from compliance to data to projects management to business analysis. We pride ourselves, with help with the skills expertise, as well as track record, right, of helping people navigate the UK job market and even beyond. We've helped people also get jobs in Canada. We've helped people get jobs across the global markets. So we understand your unique challenges because we can relate. The only people who can actually understand you are people who have actually been in your shoes. And I can tell you that I've been in your shoes. I've been in the shoes of a lot of people, and through the process of also supporting, I've had to, there's nothing you want to tell me that I've not heard, in terms of whatever you're going through, either, navigating the job market itself, or even navigating the fact that you have just relocated, or you're even trying to relocate, because I've been there myself, and it was out of my passion to help people to, make their learning curve shorter, to make them thrive and believe in themselves that they can actually do better, right? You might have relocated, but that should not stop you from living your dreams, So that's RKY Careers for you. So, what is the UK Compliance Bootcamp? I'll also tell you a bit of story about how, the UK Compliance Bootcamp came to be. It was the first bootcamp we actually launched last year, and it was launched out of this same passion of I do a lot of consultation to help people that are trying to navigate the job market. I talk to lots of people who are lawyers from Nigeria and trying to, navigate their path. We started from just advising them, lawyers, bankers, and even people that's, they from talking to them, you're able to tell that, this is what they're actually trying to do, or this is the skill that they have. From talking to a lot of people in that space, right? I was able to there was actually an obvious problem, which is foreign trained lawyers are not able to, practice immediately in the UK, because they either, because they have to be qualified here. Some are even some were qualified already, but that particular career path was not just as they expected, and they were considering other alternative career paths within or really within related field, right? And we have people who were customer service before in the bank. We have people who were tellers in the bank. We have people that had zero banking experience. That's the one that is the most amazing part. Two of our students got jobs, at some financial institutions last week, and they didn't have any banking experience. Their experience was retail and maybe sales or something, but they attended our boot camp, so which is why I'm actually very excited, because the goal of actually birthing this boot camp, is actually being realized, one success story at a time. So the purpose of this boot camp is to give you the practical experience and training that you need, to transition into a career path in compliance, KYC, AML, financial crime, and sanctions, so depending on the one that you want. So our focus is not to train you to pass a particular certification, however, because what is most prioritized in this market is the practical work experience, which, we are going to give you through the bootcamp classes and projects that you work on. So our bootcamp is project focused or project based, to give you practical work experience. Who can take this course? Just like I said earlier, early career beginners, you've just finished your degree before you moved to do your master's, or you have never worked before. This is a career path to consider. The thing is, another thing that amazes me is the way from this bootcamp we've birthed people that are able to get like graduate level roles that have never worked before. And we've also got people that actually got supervisory, even manager roles as well. So regardless of the level you are in your career, this bootcamp is a good will be a good investment for you. Foreign trained lawyers and ex-bankers, just like I said, those are just a segment of people, because I get people ask me a lot, is it just lawyers? I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a banker. I just have an interest in this career path. I've read about it, I've actually even taken some courses, and I love KYC, I love AML, I love anything that requires I do due diligence, investigation. This career path is for anyone at all seeking a career in KYC and compliance. This bootcamp is very good for you, because we have everything put together to make you job ready. So what are the modules we'll be covering in this bootcamp? We'll be covering KYC, AML, PEP and all that, data protection and privacy, financial crime and sanctions, and a lot of quizzes and multiple choice questions, projects as well, and case studies, give you the real life experience, right, in this field. The reason why, we decided to expand our modules as against what you would get in the markets, because to be honest, I see a lot of training institutes out there that just KYC AML 2 days training, and that's it, £700, £1,000. However, because whatever it is we do, we want to give people. Okay, so yes. So what I was saying is that I see a lot of training institutes that will just train you on KYC and AML, which is okay, right? However, because of our industry expertise, we know that you need to have an advantage in this market. And when I say advantage, it's about what more can you bring to the table? What more do you know? Yes, you're a KYC and AML person, but do you know about data protection and privacy? Do you know about financial crime and sanctions? And again, it even gives you multiple choice, multiple alternative, right? You can finish this, and and another thing that is interesting is we've had people actually get jobs as financial transaction monitoring analyst, client onboarding analyst, AML analyst, quality control, that's even like a supervisory level, quality control analyst, and the like. So that's actually the purpose. We are not just giving you just one, we are giving you, for the price of one, we are giving you multiple career paths, to explore through the modules that we'll be covering in the bootcamp. And just like I said earlier, there'll be practical projects and case studies, to make you apply whatever it is you have learned, just as you would do in a real life situation. So what are the potential career paths and the average salary? A lot of people want to know, because it's very important when you're trying to transition to a career path. You need to know, is it going to be worthwhile? Is it a career path that the highest I can earn is just 38K, or is just, and which is the reason why we have this slide here. This is the average salary based on rates, I believe, for the different roles. These are just a few of the roles you can explore, right? And the good thing is that when considering a career, I'm just giving you this bonus tip for free. Try to look at the career paths that the most senior role in that. You might not start at this level, right? You might start with a 40K, 38K, 35K job, but you know that this is just the beginning for you. Not a career path that the highest you can earn is 35 and there's no career progression, So this is the average, based on these roles that are on the screen, which I think is impressing, enough. So what are the training perks? Now that you know about the career path and all that, the career paths and all that, for joining RKY Careers, what would you get? Because I'm sure everybody wants to know what the returns on their investments would be. That would now lead to them getting the job eventually. We have the virtual life training, which is a 5 weeks expert-led training by our solicitor. That's a solicitor, by our facilitator, who is a dual, qualified solicitor as well as a compliance expert. So there's nothing you want to bring. And he has. I will get to his introductions anyways. But yes, expert-led virtual life training. We also have, competency tests and quizzes, which has proven to really help those that, have gone through our boot camp. We have practical case studies. You get a certificate of completion, which is CPD accredited. We'll talk more about all this, as we move on. You get access to our learning management system, which is our LMS, which is very resourceful, and it's very resourceful. It's going to be warehousing all our resources for the bootcamp, as well as additional resources that we get, for you. So you have access to this for up to a year. Just before this meeting, I had some of my alumni, they had an interview, and they just came to tell me that they've gone through all the interview preps video on the LMS, and is really like not only motivating, it gives self-confidence and is adequate enough to prepare them. If you go through our success stories as well, you see our alumni also testify to how resourceful the LMS is to their journey and to the end result of them getting their desired jobs. So you also get to work on, a project. You get UK job reference. This is to help you with the barrier of not having, UK work experience. That's why we are giving you as much drilling as possible as well. So you get to work on projects, competency tests, because we get projects, from clients as well that you get to work on, which would reference you for your CV, So so those are training perks. So what is eligibility of this career path, for visa sponsorship? A lot of people ask that question, right? Because I know for a lot of us, based on your introductions, you are students in the UK, what's the end goal? You want to get visa sponsorship at some point, so you want to know if you're transitioning to any career path, if it has potential, although, there's actually no guarantee that, because there's so many people in different career paths that have potential for sponsorship and you're still searching. But you need to be sure that the one you are in as well has potential for that. And I'm happy to tell you that, based on what you can see on the screen, compliance related roles are on the eligible occupations list, So this means that if you find a company that is willing to sponsor you for these roles, they will be able to, so it has potential for visa sponsorship. You can read more on this by going to the government's website. So yes, RKY is a CPD member and provider. And what does this mean for you? What this means is that we are an endorsed and accredited training institute. We didn't just come up one day to just start training. Before we started training, we went through rigorous, accreditation process, where our materials, our content, our delivery methods, and curriculum and all that, they were reviewed by a UK accreditation body, and they were given the go-ahead that we meet international standard, which is good for you really, because, you need to be sure that you are entrusting your career to an institute that is that has that reputation and international standard as well. So when you get a certification from us, it forms part of your continuous professional development. So for some people that are already in the workspace in the UK, there's something they call CPD requirements. So your employer expects you to have some hours of CPD related, so for those of you that are already there, even some companies even pay for it for their, same way you have development requirements. So yes, you get extra value for your money. Recruiters like to see that, you are committed to your career, to this career path, that you're not just jumping from here to there. Today, you're trying to be a data analyst. Because the thing is that a lot of companies invest in getting people placed in their vacant positions, right? So they don't want to spend so much money to get somebody that would not stay too long, and then they have to spend the same amount in the next couple of months. So they want to be sure that, so having a certification, on your CV in your intended career path, even if it's a free one, is an added advantage in creating a very good perception of your brand to the recruiter. So Now that we've said everything about what you intend, what you get to gain, about the career paths, so how much is it, RKY? I can't wait. I just want to know how much is this, what's the financial implication for me? So we're going to start from value because I'm a value based person. When I want to make any investment, I always want to know what do I gain, what is the value, and then I'll now look at what is my cost, and then I'll do an analysis, right, of my costs to benefits. The cost and benefit analysis, right? So, I mean, if we look at based on the value you get, right? If we look at the cost of this bootcamp, it should be over 1,500 as I have here, right? Because you get to have access to our live like expert-led training, which you could, I mean, if you wanted to do some courses that they would just give you recordings to go and watch. I see people pay 500, 700 for those kind of trainings as well. You get access to our LMS, which is a resourceful tool for you. You get a CPD accredited certification, you get access to our projects and quizzes, interview preparation session, where we get to have mock interviews, mock interviews. These are the questions you get as the KYC analyst or AML analyst. These are the ways to answer it. These are likely questions. These are the ways to compose yourself. We'll actually even review job descriptions as well to see how what you have learned actually aligns with, what we are seeing them advertised, so that you get more confident that you can actually do all these things, And then you get UK work reference as well, and you get to join our alumni community, which is a very thriving one. A lot of people in interview stages or people that, have one or two clarifications, they get, they send their questions to the alumni, and even within the community they get a lot of people to respond to them. We analyze different situation. Oh, can someone help with this situation? This customer is doing layering this, what do we do? How do we, is it a PEP situation? To be honest, I'm always happy when I see all those kind of conversations going on in the community. So yes, based on all I've said, right, the value of the training is over £1,500. However, our price for the bootcamp is £700 and 650k if you're paying in naira, right? However, because you've taken time to attend this bootcamp, this taster session today, you'll be enjoying the CEO discount, which will be £100. I don't think that slide is correct, Yeah, which that slide is not correct. So if it will be £100 off, because I think we increased by, so it will be £100 what you're seeing of what you're seeing here. So if you're paying today and you want to secure your slots today, right, it will be £600 if you're paying one off, or £550 if you're paying one off, right? However, if you're paying in installments, it's £650 or 600,000 naira. I will still show you what is here, but just add 50k to, or £50 or whatever it is that you're seeing on the screen, because I think this particular slide is outdated. So yes, in addition to that, right, because you get to now have access to our free CV. You get to have access to our CV and LinkedIn optimization service, and RKY Careers, we are known for having a magic touch when it comes to CV and LinkedIn optimization, right? Our CV and LinkedIn optimization service is one, is like the best in town, that would help you to land interviews, because the more interviews you land, the more chances you have to get in the job opportunity. So you get this for free because you're part of this bootcamp, right? So you get, and I did add that to the value, right? So if I added that to the value, I'm sure you know that it would make the value of the training even increase more. So just add £50 to each of the prices here. You can take a screenshot if you want to, right? Please paste the account numbers. So if you pay today before the end of the day, you get to enjoy this discounts, right? However, if you don't pay today, you can engage us, to tell us probably, when you want to pay and all that. So let's move on. So some success stories from last cohorts, right? So please admin, please paste the account numbers for them to make credit so they can enjoy the discounts that we have on offer. So I've just landed. So these are some success stories we had from previous cohorts. We have someone land a KYC quality control analyst role. We had someone land KYC senior account officer role. So like there's a wide range of roles that you can explore, after completing this bootcamp. We have some more success stories. So I have here on this slide some job titles that some of our alumni have secured after the bootcamp. So we've had people secure KYC analyst, compliance manager, finance advisor, AML investigator, senior account officer, KYC quality control analyst, central compliance specialist, business compliance analyst, transaction monitoring investigator. The list is endless, and that's the thing I like about this bootcamp and the way we have designed us to be different from the others you get out there, right? It's all encompassing. You can explore a wide range of opportunities. Time 5-10 minutes with us, to tell us, about his journey, from the bootcamp, his journey from the very start to the bootcamp, and now is in the industry right now. So, Shegun, please, if you are here, please do us a favor and unmute yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, our CEO. Thank you, everyone. That's good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwasegun Alatishe. It's a privilege to be here, and I must say this firstly before I, start giving out my own little experience in the last few years. Thank you so much, RKY, for your time. Thank you for the training I had last year. Thank you for, each time I have run into issues or probably I have interviews, thank you for having listening ears to even pick my calls. Thank you so much for that. I must really be, grateful for that little audience you've been able to, even when you're busy, you still find time to probably get back to me and all that. Yeah, so for me, I actually came into the UK last year, September. Can everyone hear me, please? I don't know if I'm...
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So I actually came into the UK last year, September, and when I got to the UK, right from Nigeria, I worked I've worked in different banks. I have experience majorly in sales, marketing, and all that. You know how Nigeria is now. So I do more of relationship management. But on getting to the UK, I just had to just quickly decide on what I wanted to do. I haven't met RKY. It was someone somewhere that just told me about RKY during, I think that was last year, October, that I should just check the website, which I did. I went through during my little survey, I just quickly, went through the process. Online, checked about who RKY was, and I picked up my phone and I called Rukayat, just a little story. And from there, I started engaging her. And I paid, I think I was one of the few guys that actually paid that time. I paid him, we had a tester session like this, and I made the payment and all that. And honestly, I got a job basically because I had training with this company. That's the truth. Yeah, because I had no background of AML, but I needed to brush myself, and I felt it was something I could do. Yeah, I've done trainings back home, but it was totally different. Don't let me say a bit. So on getting to the UK, I did the training for a few months. It was very, very engaging, very, very intensive. Few classes that we had were very, very engaging, and I took notes of everything. And I started applying. I think I was one of the very few guys that even before we finished training, I kept on training myself, going back to the notes. After each class, I go back to the notes. Till now, I still do that often, because it's a different thing for anyone to teach you or probably put you through the classes, and it's a different thing for you to show interest. So that was what I did. I had a 1-hour session every day, and I kept calling Rukayat. Honestly, I was back to back. I didn't allow her rest. And I started applying. The interviews, I did EY. There's no interview that I have not done. I did NatWest. I did Monzo. I did Revolut. I kept on applying for different companies. I'll have, even when I'm of not doing anything. I doing sponsored role, unsponsored role. I was doing everything. So for any interview that I did, I was gaining knowledge, and I was going back to my notes we had in RKY. And trust me, guys, it was fantastic, because for any shortfall I have during the interview, I take the feedback from the recruiters or the company or the interviewers, and I build on it. And that has actually been my my little experience so far. So the value I got was, actually was very, very impactful. And the access, we still have access to RKY, even my own set, my own bootcamp, the boot. I mean, my colleagues that we had the bootcamp together. We still go back to those notes. And even recently, I haven't told RKY. She doesn't know about this now. I think she's hearing for the first time. There's one of our colleagues that just prepped me, that called me just about a few days ago. It was one of our colleagues just called me, and we just had a session, a 1 hour one-on-one session based on what we've had in the last bootcamp we had last year. And believe me, this guy applied for a role after that session. I had the session with the guy. We just had a one-on-one chat. And the guy had that session. That guy is paid 41,000 naira in Sheffield, in Sigma. Just last week, he got the job just last week. And he was like, Shegun, from a warehouse guy, I have gotten this job. And the next thing I told him, have you told RKY? Don't worry, I'll communicate with her whenever I resume. She doesn't know this. I'm sure she doesn't. She's hearing for the first time. So please, guys, I want to encourage us. Even if we are taught, you would definitely keep, upgrading yourself, show commitment, be very, show passion for whatever you want to do, make real style yourself, be flexible. You would enjoy you enjoy the role, you would enjoy the training. But what happens after the training? Go back to your notes and read, and then keep applying. Maybe 5 to 10 applications on a daily basis. Optimize your CV. And even when I got the Lloyds Bank, I work in Lloyds Bank presently as a KYC analyst. And in between Lloyds, now I'm even stuck in between 3 roles. Now I have one in Santander. I'm working in Lloyds presently. Now Lloyds have even seconded me to another role in Manchester for affluent mass personal something. They just brought it out yesterday. I've not even told Luca. So please keep engaging, keep discussing, keep reading. It's very, very impactful. RKY will take you through the practical trainings, take you to the theoretical trainings, and honestly, before you know it, in the next 1 or 2. And one thing I noticed in the UK, you can easily rise in 2 years. I'm not sure. I don't know if it is what I've noticed. I feel maybe perhaps I'm sure I can have some. Okay, I could see Lumi is here. Would be able to explain. So you can easily rise in the industry with strong determination. Honestly, you can. Once you get yourself into the system, internal rules, you have access to internal rules, you can apply. The only thing you need to show is just show that you are ready to do the job. Put on the skills. Then I believe you can actually do it. So for me, financial crime, sanction, everything, ensure you have knowledge, ensure you go back to your notes, ensure you participate, ensure you learn on a daily. Speak. That's what I do. Whenever I speak. It has to be something related to financial crime. I do trainings. Even yesterday, I still had a one-on-one hour session for my own self. Go back to notes. You keep updating yourself. They keep, when people talk about regulatory framework, you just have to, is what they've taught. Another thing would happen. Just yesterday, I was just reading about, was it a bank? I can't remember. Was it Barclays Bank? I can't remember. I was reading about some news. Unfortunately, I had an interview in Sterling Bank last week. They asked me the same question. And it was because I've actually gone to my Financial Times. So please, guys, let's encourage ourselves. We can do it. And honestly, trust me, before you know it, in the next 2 years, you start sharing your success story. And by then, maybe we would have probably been a vice president in compliance in one of the companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shegun. Thank you so much. And yes, this is, him confirming to me. Even there are some things I didn't know about. And tell your friend, I know the person, I know who your friend that you referred is hiding or hoarding my success story. Tell him to send success story so that we can share success story. But yeah, thank you so much for that, Shegun. And that's everything they have said. The alumni community very strong. People make friends, meet professionals that they get to network with. That you guys are in the same boat, you're on the same journey. you get to go through all these things together. And that's one thing that, that is really nice about having a very strong alumni community. Even in our other boot camps, after the facilitator has taught them, they put themselves together again to like re-go through all those things, re-explain, because they are in this journey together, and how many offers did you get, Shagun? Because I kept on sharing success stories upon success stories.
Yeah. Yeah, presently I'm working in Lloyd's presently, but I have a role. I've actually gotten the roles in Satanda for about a few months ago, and I'm yet to decide whether I should resume there, because I've heard a lot about Satanda. Satanda is this, and it's a full-time role. And I have another role in Sterling that just came in about a few days ago. I'm yet to decide on that as well. Then I did an interview with NatWest too about 2 days ago. That was when I did the prepping. But trust me, guys, keep updating yourself, keep reading, RKY will give you practical exam projects. And I'm actually part of the Bootcamp of different platforms here. Whenever you are stuck, you can easily go back to the notes, and thank God for people like Lumi. I haven't met Lumi. This is the first time this is the second time I had a session, but whenever I see his notes, I respond and I give accolades to, I'm so, thank you guys. Honestly, thank you, Rukaya. Thank you so much. You guys are indeed, doing a great one. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Shegun. So, in order to take too much of our time, that's it basically. I just told him to come share. I just called him yesterday. I was just thinking about it that, let me get somebody to come share his experience, not just because he has gone through our boot camp, but because, he has gone ahead, get multiple, even at the time, I didn't know even it was, of course, you should still keep interviewing and all that. But even at that time, when he was still actively, he had multiple roles, at that time. And like, it's not like you just sit down and the roles will come to you. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And that's the thing. We don't spoon feed here. We're going to, we don't spoon feed. We're going to teach you, right? And we're also going to tell you where to go to, because you might also get stuck. Compliance is very wide. I don't know if it gets me. So it's very wide, and we'll also show you where to go to, where you're asked this question, where to go to, So, that's just basically, not to repeat anything that he has said, and I think we'll continue with. Thank you, Shagun. Thank you so much for making our time, even though it was very short notice. Shagun was one of the very first alumni, from the very first set of UK compliance bootcamp, that we had. So thank you, Shagun, for making our time. So yes, these are the other upcoming boot camps that we have in RKY Careers. The UK compliance starts August 5th. Like you might already know, that's the one we're having sister session here, so that you can get to know more about it. We have the Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint. That is just to enhance your skills in MS Excel and PowerPoint. If you are trying to apply for a role in 2023 and you cannot use Excel and PowerPoint, I bet you that you don't have the basic requirements, because there's no role that you interview for that they won't ask you about to present something, to analyze something, even if it's not an analytical role, right? So it's very important to be able to use Excel and PowerPoint. A lot of our students, they move from our compliance bootcamp to like enroll for our Excel bootcamp, Excel training as well, to be able to position themselves for some roles like transaction monitoring, that requires them going through spreadsheets and all that. So, even if not for yourself, our friends and family, they're looking for a very good training institute to, learn these skills with, or maybe compliance is for you, you're not ready, you can try the Excel or PowerPoint. Data analysis and business intelligence, Scrum Master, product owner, product management, and business analysis. We have all this coming up in August. So what are our other services? We have our CV optimization service, LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, career mapping services, and so on and so forth. So you see, we have, the thing is that we're not just a training institute, we are a career, we have the entire, all what you need to get career ready. You get it from RKY Career. So I don't think, because I get a lot of people that have enrolled in some other training institutes still come to me for interview prep. They still come to book our services, for CV and LinkedIn optimization, book our services for career mapping. Why do that, when you can get everything in one package, right? Just like Shegun said as well. So yes, now we've gotten to the very interesting part where we get to like actually learn more about, about the technical aspects of KYC, AML, and all that. So I'll be introducing you to our facilitator, no other person but Lumi, who you have heard Shegun also talk about. Lumi is, he's been our facilitator for this bootcamp for about 4 cohorts now. I think, yeah, this is or 5 cohorts. This will be our 6th one that we're going starting in August. And if it's not good enough, there's no reason why we would retain him. So the reason why you keep seeing Lumi tester session after tester session is because he's actually very good at what he does. So Lumi is a UK qualified solicitor, and is a dual qualified, actually qualified in Nigeria as also as the UK as well. For those of you too that are considering because the thing is we've had people that are actually UK qualified as well that still end up leaving that to come and get a career in compliance. Lumi will also share his own story with us as well. So and he's been a compliance professional in the UK for over 12 years. He's worked with financial institutions in the UK like Credit Suisse, JP Morgan, BNP Paribas, among others. Really, he has lots of accolades and certifications to his name as well. So yes, I will be inviting Lumi to introduce himself and take us through, tell us a few things that we need to know about the bootcamp. So before I do that, right, I'll just go to the chat box to see if there are any questions. Please, let's start getting the credits, for those of you that want to move on. I believe a lot of you would want to do that as well anyways, so that you can enjoy the discount on offer. Right. So I don't think there are any notifications. Just to remind you, right? So if you have any questions while Lumi is going on, please drop your questions in the chat box. Lumi, I'm happy to hand over the mic to you.
Okay, thank you, RKY. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for all what you do. We really appreciate it. Shegun, thank you for coming to ginger us here and tell us your own story. You're giving us your own success stories. And
Thank you so much.
That will also motivate all those who want to jump on the same train. So thanks all for coming to today's taster session. And all I have to say is that you guys are in a good place. The good thing about RKY is that every time our own aim is to continue to improve on whatever we're delivering to you guys and to make sure that it's relevant in the industry. I've been in the industry for about 12 years in various roles, KYC analyst, AML analyst, sanctions SME. I worked on GDPR also and everything. So all I'm trying to do is to bring my own experience to you guys and try and find a way to change your mindset to be able to jump into these roles ASAP. And I can just give you guys a little story about my own journey. And just like most of you, and just like Shegun too, I came from Nigeria and I was just shocked that my first job was quite a blue-collar job. I was shocked because I was practicing in Nigeria as a lawyer, and my first job here, I just started working as a customer service in Primark, and my job was just to keep the place clean. And I was like, this is very annoying, sweeping the floor there and everything. So it was very almost depressing to me, but I knew I was never going to give up. At that point in time, a lot of people were not interested in transforming into or rebranding themselves as KYC AML analysts. So I just followed the bandwagon, everybody around me doing all sorts of rubbish jobs and everything. And, we just continued along that side. We just got lost, we just got lost. So from one menial job to the other and everything, I even had to work in an Indian restaurant. It was quite annoying, very annoying, after all the qualifications and the experience I had from Nigeria and everything. So I was like, wow, this is really serious. So in a nutshell, nobody's going to save anybody, but you have to be the one to save yourself. And it's very important for you to identify the right place, the right information, and also the right strategy to save yourself. So I met someone in compliance, and they said, oh wow, why don't you try KYC AML? I said, oh, okay, very interesting, because coming from Africa and all that, you know, you already have a lot of knowledge about corruption and all that. We're all tired of that. You know, why not be part of the people that will help to prevent it, that will help to stop the corruption and everything? And KYC at that time sounded very interesting, you know. And one thing I've noticed about the industry with KYC also is that it's a growing industry because it's regulatory driven. So when I applied for a job in KYC, I had just done a little bit of reading. It wasn't as difficult as now. All I told them was I was already doing KYC, even though I was doing something else, but I was already doing KYC, and I actually did a little bit of study, and I just explained a few things to them, and I told them they'll never find someone as hardworking as I am. And I remember that lady, Aisha, she just said she wants to give me that opportunity. And that was how this journey started. So I just started like an average KYC guy, going to the office every day and everything, until, just like Shegun, I applied for a role in Santander. So Shegun, think about this. I applied for a role in Santander, and during the interview process, they totally embarrassed me. I didn't know anything about anything. Like, because the normal KYC ML interviews I used to have were outside Santander, JP Morgan, all these other places. But Santander has been known to drill people very well. They have a very good AML and KYC process in their bank. They have some of the best personnel in the AML industry and all that. And I applied for a QA role, and they just drilled me. They were asking me about GMLSG and FATF, what I was going to use to examine their processes, people, and technology. And I was like, what's GMLSG? What's FATF? Okay. And I said, wow, I'm still a baby in this journey. And I just told them, I'm sorry, I don't know all this stuff, but I would like you to give me more information about all these questions you're asking me, since I don't know the answer. And that's how it all started. They just started talking to me about FATF and GMLSG and all the other bits. Wow, another 30 minutes. I didn't get the job though, but they called me 2 months after. Yeah, they called me 2 months after to come and...
About 50 pounds.
Please mute yourself. I think Shegun, right? Yeah. So they called me to come and take another role, but at that point in time, I got something else. But why I'm telling you this story is because they upgraded me. That's what happened. Even though I didn't get the job at that point in time, but they told me stuff. And because they now told me those things, I now went to do research and I learned all those things. And today I'm an authority. I can challenge anybody. Even though, of course, I don't know everything. But, you know, what I've noticed that a lot of people don't read in the industry. So like now in RKY, we are competing against other trainers from everywhere, and we constantly look at what they are doing, and we try to make sure that we deliver the best package. Okay, so you know, ours is always cheaper than all the other ones, but we deliver more value because we are taking you straight to, you know, a process whereby you'll be able to hit the ground running once you start your job. Just like Shegun, once you start your job, you'll be able to do what a normal KYC analyst should be doing, because KYC is really very easy. And we've had students come from care. They say they are tired of the care job. They're tired of warehousing job. A lot of our students are coming from care, warehousing, just the same way I started and all that, doing all these jobs that frustrate you. So what we are doing at RKY is to change that mindset, show you where you need to get information, and just add the necessary skills for you to jump into the market. Now, something about that market is that it's the most interesting market. You guys notice that there's a financial crisis going on, Europe, US, and all that. But the banks would always need to perform KYC. So that just means you're in a good place. All you need to do is to make sure you get the skills and jump into the market. It's just that first job that will be challenging. Shegun's first job was challenging, but after that, Easy peasy. Look at him choosing jobs now. And that's how he is after some time. I just like sometimes to apply for jobs and see what they have to say, just to catch crews and all that. But, so I'm hoping that if that's what you want, that's what we will definitely deliver for you. Now, the first thing we do in our RKY is to give you the information from the source. So I can appreciate that a lot of you guys already have banking experience and legal experience and all that. So that makes it even easier because we are going to be talking to a cohort of very intelligent people. So it's not going to be difficult for you to pick the relevant skills. And KYC is very easy. The first thing you do is the same way you guys have opened your bank account is the same way that you will be performing that same function for someone else. Now, a KYC analyst or a compliance analyst is like a policeman in the bank. You are just supposed to be the gateway to make sure that people follow processes and procedures, and you protect the bank. So at RKY, that's what we're going to show you. You need to know what are the legislation you need to comply with. Okay, Money Laundering Act 2017, Sanctions Act, Anti-Bribery, all those other things. They've all been summarized for you. They've been summarized in GMLSG, which we'll share with you. They've been summarized in FATF. So FATF is a global body that fights money laundering and terrorist financing. So if you are reading it from the source, okay, and you've embellished the knowledge you have, when you go for your interview, to be a smasher for you, because it will be much easier than for someone that doesn't read. And what I'm telling you is that other trainers are not like RKY, where they give you the source, the practical training, the interview preparation, and even the project for you to test your competence. So by the time you work on your KYC project here, and we mark it and we tell you what mistakes you've made, then that gives you a practice period, and that gives us the confidence to give you a reference. And that reference is something that also does some magic also, because you already have the reference by a CPD accredited agency. Compare that to any other one. The other ones, they'll tell you all these things. They'll train you for 1 day. No, we are training you for 5 days. 5 days, okay? And that's going to be across 5 weeks. So it's not just the 1 day training that you get in other places. I don't want to mention their names, where they pay $950, $1,000, whatever. No, we're going to overtrain you, give you everything, and you'll be like, Shegun, you can now start training people also easily. You understand? And also, another thing we are going to do is that we're going to have a permanent connection with you, because you have you join the WhatsApp group. We're also on LinkedIn, add us, and all that. Bring your friends. Let's continue discussing. Even sometimes we even challenge ourselves. They come back, oh, this is what they told us to do at work. How can we go about it? So the knowledge we are going to give you when you enroll is going to be good for KYC, for AML, is also going to be good for project management and business analysis in that area. So that means you should be able to build a KYC team, an AML program, based on the information we will give you. And if you need further support, we're in constant touch with you guys. So I would say it's a very good deal for you guys. It's much better than what the challenges I had. Nobody was training me or telling me all this about 12 years ago when I was struggling to get into the industry. But now you have someone that is coming to tell you this is what's happening in the industry. I've gone for training here and there, and because of RKY careers, I've decided to go for the ICA master's course and all that, just to make sure that I'm up to date with you guys and giving you the most relevant information. I've also studied crypto. It's quite interesting. I've worked in investment banking, commercial banking, private banking, Islamic banking. What I'm going to try to do is to just open your brain and put in as much as I can from my own experience into it and push you along. The interview preparation is also going to guide you along how to deal with some of the difficult interview questions. Okay, some of the most popular interview questions, and we're also going to discuss how to apply for jobs after you've received your training. So because that's another important skill you need to have. Where how do you apply? What should be on your CV? How do you do your LinkedIn? So all this is a package for you. It's I think it's the best offer in town. Yeah, so if you think about it, I wish I could share the slides here. KYC, there are three different streams of KYC, which is very interesting. Three different streams of KYC. You find yourself either in onboarding, remediation, or refresh. Remediation is the most lucrative, and you see them paying between maybe from 200 to 600, depending on the skills you have and all that. So, it pays well. So even if you are investing 600 or whatever, 700 today, you will get it back. There are some jobs that will pay you 700 a day. I could share the screen for that one, but I don't know. RKY wants to put some stuff on the screen. You guys will also need the payment details. But RKY, permit me to just share the screen for a minute or so.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So just do that now. So it's just to give you guys as much support as possible. And that's what we've been doing at RKY. And even people have come back to say, oh, yeah, I have an interview 6 months after my training, and we still try our best to support them. Sometimes, we don't really have as much time, but we try to carry everybody along to make sure that we have as many success stories as possible. The more success stories we have, the better. Your success is our success. So we take that very seriously. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, so, just to show you, look at something like this, KYC AML Project Manager. Because you guys already have the experience, our own mission here is to transform you guys into KYC professionals. You now decide, oh, this is what I can do. Oh, I know Excel. Oh, I don't know Excel. Okay, I want to do RKY's Excel course, add it to this one and go and apply for something like this. 181 grand a year. I think is manageable, and if you look at all the job description, there's nothing really difficult there. KYC is not something so difficult that is impossible to do. So at the end of the day, we are going to make sure that you understand these things. I hope you guys can see clearly. So what you need to know before you go and get a KYC job, you need to know how to perform KYC. We are going to teach you how to perform due diligence, how to do a risk assessment of a client, how to do a PEP mitigation in accordance to recommendation 12 of the FATF. And these are some of the things we are going to tie with you to take to your interview. So you can go and book out an interview. Recommendation 12 for PEP, recommendation 10 for CDD, GMLSG Part 1, Chapter 5, okay, for your CDD needs and all that. So, you are not just going to be the ordinary person that is going to quote KYC and all that. You are going to start sounding like a lawyer. You start sounding like who's the lawyer here? Like Amanda. So you start quoting all these things, and that gives you leverage. It takes you above the competition out there. So there are so many jobs out there. If I type in KYC jobs and everything, you can see how many jobs are out there. AML KYC jobs. I just want to be very practical with you guys and show you. I'm typing in AML KYC jobs. It's giving me what, 5,000? Is it 5 million? Whatever. I know it's not going to be up to that, but you can see that you have a lot of jobs. It now depends. Nobody's going to come and save you. You have to do the reading. I'm not going to do your interview for you. So you have to do your own part. RKY will do their own part, and that's it. We'll prepare you for interview. We have a controlled environment whereby we will ask you questions, put a lot of pressure on you, and by the time you hear the answers from the interview, you also be amazed that I shouldn't have said this. This is a better way to say this. And we brainstorm on all these things. So we have the complete package. I don't think there's any package out there that is better than this, to be serious. I've been in this business for 12 years. I don't think there's anything that matches this at the price we are giving you and the kind of passion you are going to go through. We are going to push you. It's not difficult, so don't be scared or be worried that it's something difficult. We're also flexible. So once you do your project and everything, we'll tell you where you have challenges one-on-one, correct it and everything. There's a platform where you can discuss anything. Okay, so we'll also advise you, keep up with the news, keep up with do your horizon scanning to make sure if there is any new news or anything out there, you know it. Like now, the war in Ukraine, there are sanctions flying everywhere. Okay, and sanctions are just trade embargoes. You just need to understand it. They are just executive orders that compel. It could be a country, it could be an SDN, a person, a human being. It could be an SSI, an entity like Russia, like VTB in Russia. They've been sanctioned, that industry. SDNs are just like normal people that have violated or have behaved in a certain way, and the authorities just think they should punish these guys or put them in a sanction them and force them to behave in a certain way. That's what sanctions are. So you as a KYC analyst, you're protecting your bank by identifying sanctions, okay, and you are just trying to identify all the risks in the bank. And you just need to have that knowledge so that you don't put your bank in trouble. Let me show you an example of some of the issues we've had. Let me show you BNP Paribas fine. Sanctions fine, 8.9 billion. That's the end of whoever's career is, whoever is responsible for that. That's 9 billion. 8.9 billion. That is a lot of money for someone. Okay? So, yeah. It's good to have that knowledge. It's good to be able to protect the bank and to be able to catch the bad guys, which is very important. So that's what we're going to do at RKY. And we're also very flexible. Bring all your questions and everything. We will deal with them. But definitely, we're going to cover KYC, AML. AML is also very interesting. You need to understand the three layers, the different layers, different various typologies. Okay, because KYC is a tool of anti-money laundering. Anti-money laundering, a transaction monitoring analyst is someone that is an investigator. Okay, so we're also going to teach you how to investigate clients, and that will also help you. It might even help you to avoid some unnecessary transactions also. So that if someone wants to use it as a money mule and all that. So it's serious stuff. It also helps you to adjust, these are the laws in the UK or in Europe and everything. These are the things I must not do. Okay, so you are going to be someone that can investigate crimes. And I think that's a good skill to have. Okay, so you be a KYC analyst. That one is almost like a data gatherer, but you have the skills to know where to pick your information from. Just show you something quickly. Now, you guys want to work on companies. You need to know how to use the company's house. You need to know these things. Let's say you just want to start a job, and they give you a case. Work on Tesco today. Okay, so once you jump on Tesco, the first thing you do is to go to company's house. Just to show you how easy it is, but we're going to show you a lot more. Okay, but I just want you to have an idea, because some people think it's difficult. Oh, I'm coming from care, I'm coming from washing cars and all that. No. We've had people come from everywhere. So you need to know where to get the information from. Where do you get a registered office address for Tesco? What date was Tesco incorporated? What's the nature of Tesco's business? Where are the directors of Tesco? So these are the things we are going to show you. A lot of the tricks we'll show you. Okay, who are the owners of Tesco? Okay, so those are the things we'll show you, so that when you start your job, you're already doing KYC in RKY. So all you are doing is you're just moving to another job. That's all you're doing. We're going to show you how to screen. Okay, we'll try our best to show you. We don't have all the software, but we'll show you how to screen. Yeah. So we have sanctions lists. Okay, and we'll show you how to use the tools. Okay, you put Osama bin Laden, you get results. So these are the things we want you to know. We don't want you to go for an interview without having used or having the idea of the process. So you need to know these are hits. You need to know the industry terminology. You can't go for your interview and be saying something else. These are what they call hits. What's a false positive? What's a true match? You understand? So, you should have an idea. So this is Osama bin Laden. This is date of birth. Now you have your own client information. When you pop it into the software, it's going to tell you, it's going to bring you sanctions news, any PEP touch points, or even any advanced news. And you will now investigate it. And if it's a true match, of course, you'll be escalating it further. And if it's a false positive, you close it and you move on to the next alert. It's not difficult. These are all the things we will show you. How to use GMLSG, how to use FATF, the whole package. By the time we finish with you, you're just going to become a tiger. You should at least have more information than the average KYC person that has done training. So that's what we are saying, and that's what we're going to do. That's our own promise to you. With the one reason why you've come to us, I'm sure someone has told you, oh yeah, I got my job through RKY, just like Shego and all that. So definitely, we're out there, we're working on improving our training and also making sure that we understand what you guys need and what you guys, the competency you need to show. So at the end of this also, you can also ask questions. Our sessions are totally interactive. It's a discussion. We are guiding you. So you can ask questions at any point in time during the classes and everything. Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, I applied for this job. This is what they said. We share it with the class. Everybody learns from it and we move on. So I'm just trying to give you as much information as possible so that you can make an informed decision. By the time you compare us to others, what are the other people offering and all that? What are their success stories? All our own success stories are true. We are not bothered with trying to hype ourselves and all that. The truth speaks for itself. So we have people that have passed through us and all that, and they are doing well. And because they are coming from RKY, some agencies are rushing our clients. Compared to some of the other people where they don't train them well. How can you train someone for one day and take 800, 1,000 and just leave them? If you train someone for 6 to 7 hours in one day, they probably won't pick everything up. Give them time to reflect, to research, come back to you, do projects, make sure they are competent. Let them do the KYC itself, which is what we're going to make sure you guys do. And it's very easy. So trust me, I believe we are the best out there. I don't see anyone that can compete with us. I don't want to mention names and all that, but by the time you do your research and you go out there and you see, oh, this is different. You're getting AML, you're getting KYC, you're getting sanctions, you're getting GDPR. That's compliance, So that means you can apply for a wide range. Okay, and at the same time, what we try to do is that because you guys are already intelligent people, we also give you some info about project management and business analysis. Because I'm expecting that you're not just going to stop at the KYC level. I want everyone here to be, apply for 700 a day jobs, 500 a day jobs. Everyone should be happy. You get, so once you decide, oh, I've learned KYC and everything, I'm solid in KYC and everything, I'm moving to the next level. So we encourage that, and we want you to do that. We want all the people here to be managers, business, KYC business analysts, sanction SMEs, PEP SMEs, and all that. People that can use the GMLSG. So we are here to rebrand you, just give you a new footing. Okay, yeah, with a lot of information about KYC and AML under your belt. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions now.
Thank you so much, Lumi, for the, I was about to Lumi, you want to teach them everything. I know you're passionate about teaching, but let's not teach them everything today so that we can get them to enroll for the bootcamp. But that's it really, right? You get to learn a lot because you're not just learning, you're not just learning from someone who's just reading slides. Please mute yourself if you are not facilitating. Thank you very much. So yes, you're not just we're not just reading out slides to you. I've heard a lot of things that go on in this training industry of, someone will just get someone to do material. I'm not a subject matter expert, and that's why you will not see me taking most of my trainings, even though I have subject matter experts in those fields. You will not see me taking. I can do what KYC analysts do. I can do practically. I'm a senior finance analyst. I've worked in bank. I've worked in client-facing KYC related roles. But I won't train my students myself because I believe that I want to get subject matter experts, someone that I would complement, that knows that is not just going to be original slides that someone has prepared for him or that we have given him to prepare, but someone that can talk about practical experience in my role managing this particular projects. When I did this, those are the kind of things that you can leverage on, because in the job market, it's not just about, they won't be telling you to define and tell them advantages and disadvantages. They'll be asking you about practical experience that you gained while doing this or that, which you can only get from someone that has lived it, and also by doing it yourself through our projects as well. So, everything Lumi has said, everything Shegu has said as well, and more. Right, are what you're going to benefit from this boot camp. So I'll be going to the chat box now to see if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions, please go to the chat box to drop your questions. I think I already have a couple of questions there. Based on my job search, I hardly see sponsorship job in KYC compared to data analyst. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are not wrong. To be honest, I don't even see data analysts these days. Companies have changed their strategies to recruiting, and sponsoring. A lot of companies don't want to they want to get the value before offering the sponsor. A lot of companies would not just say, because they know it's a magnet. A lot of people have set notifications for visa sponsorship. So whether they're qualified, they just apply to jobs. From my recruiting experience, because I do recruit and interview as well, I see a lot of people that, they don't even put any effort into applying to jobs. Once it fits a keyword that they have put as a distance, they don't even check whether their CV aligns, they just apply. So when you see jobs that have visa sponsorship advertised, you see within 10 minutes of that job being placed on, the hundreds of people have applied, open their CVs to be nonsense.
Yeah.
You will not even see anything that aligns with, I've placed several adverts for different job roles that by the time I go through it, I won't see one person that I can invite for interview. Right? So I believe that, that's the reason why we are seeing less, before it used to be easy to get jobs that would also sponsor visa, but the thing is that more companies are actually getting this license to sponsor visa, but less companies are saying they would sponsor visa on their job adverts. So this is not to say that KYC is more than data analyst or otherwise, but this is just to say from my own expertise or knowledge about the fact that companies, and I say a lot of our clients keep getting sponsorship here and there, keep getting sponsorship here and there, but that's why you have to get your motivations right. Like I said earlier, that is a combination of a brand, so you could finish this bootcamp and the role you'll be getting might not be KYC analyst role. It will be a role you'll be getting because of your combination of your KYC, probably your legal background, or whatever it is that is your brand. Some would get project manager role for KYC related projects because they have project management related experience on their CV and they have KYC. and they might actually be able to get sponsorship in that. Some would get data analyst. Go to LinkedIn right now, search data analyst KYC roles. You will see a lot of roles come out. Some would. So it's about what you are able to add to what you already have. The motivation has to be right, really, and it cannot only be visa sponsorship. The reason why you are moving to a career path should not only be visa sponsorship. If not, you will get burnt, because probably the passion is not even there in the first place. The interest is not there in the first place. However, when considering, that's why we always say that it's based on eligibility for, not that you are guaranteeing that you get visa sponsorship. You just need to be sure that, okay, if I see a company that likes everything I have, they've interviewed me, are they even equipped? Because if you apply for data analyst job in a company that does not even have license, you won't get a sponsorship anyways.
Yeah.
Right. So it's about making your brand stand out, really. It's about making your brand stand out. There was one of my alumni also reached out to me last week, and she was saying something about she had sales and KYC together on a particular role, like sales, and they were interested in that particularly because they're a sales company, and they wanted to know more about the sales, how she brought sales into KYC, or how KYC, and that was what they were interested. That was what caught their attention.
Yeah.
It's about. But the thing is, as an employer myself, right? When I'm recruiting for roles, right, I have a particular. I know what I want. I know what my company needs. I know what my strengths are, and I know what I want to add to it, right? So when I'm interviewing, there are some questions I might be asking that might look like, does this question even relate to the role? Right? And the reason why I make my hiring decision at the end of the day might not even be related to the call that you have prepared. It might be some other additional things. So for instance, I might be recruiting for a CV writer or a writer, and you have like a designing experience. The only reason I might consider you above others just because you have the additional skill, which is what I'm using basic skills now to explain it. So I don't know if you get me. So we've had trainings that, like our data analyst training, for instance, one of the students there got a project manager role. And the only reason why the person got the job was because of the data analytical skills that the person had in addition to the project management experience on their CV. So that's what it's about in this job market. I can tell you categorically, I've helped over 200 people in the last 1 year to get jobs across different fields. So I can tell you that I have very great industry expertise about, the UK job markets particularly. I've helped people to get jobs across, Nigeria and Canada as well. But when it comes to the UK, I know the in and outs of a lot of things that go on because, we stay updated. We also, as recruiters, we have friends among recruiters that tell us, what is going on, here and there as well. So, is it possible to get compliance sponsorship roles from Nigeria? I've just explained about sponsorship. Visa sponsorship from anywhere at the moment is highly competitive because there's so many people trying to get visa sponsorship. I'm sure you know what the numbers look like in terms of people that are in the UK on students visa. All these people too are trying to compete to get visa sponsorship. Now add those that are outside trying to get sponsorship, right? So I would say that if you are trying to move to the UK from outside the country, you should explore multiple alternatives of trying to come in. You can't just say, I want to just keep applying to jobs. That is one, but there are other alternatives you should explore if you are really keen to move. But if you're just doing it as a freestyle, maybe if it happens, if it doesn't happen, then why not? You can just stay on trying to get skilled worker visa. But if you are keen to move to the UK, because even things are changing, policies are changing here and there, so this is even the time to actually, enhance your skills. Policies are changing, economy is worsening across board, so it's really a very it's very interesting times, really. So what's the schedule for the bootcamp? So classes hold 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturdays for 5 weeks, where we would cover KYC and AML. The classes are always very interesting. It's usually planned for 2 hours, but sometimes it runs between 2 to 2 hours 30 minutes because we like to accommodate people asking questions. We've heard about some bootcamps where people people would have 8 hours straight of classes and not be able to even, ask questions, I mean, and that's not what we are trying to do. Rather, we would give you time to digest, come and challenge us. And that's what we do. We want to be challenged. That's how it is across all our trainings. Go and read up. Come with your questions. Tell us that what we told you yesterday is not true. Keep us on our toes. That is the way. Even our materials, we keep updating them. Before the last course, we updated all our materials, because the thing is, we can't sleep on. We can't, because the industry is changing. Except we want to do a disservice to our students, right?
Yeah.
We can't be still, because we want to give you the best. Apart from even the materials, at the end of every quarter, I have a meeting with all my facilitators again. What can we add to this bootcamp to help people get jobs, to make it more, just so that I remember when I engaged him originally, then at that time we had just had one cohort, and I told him that this is the current situation. What can we add? How can we do? And that was how we added projects, added this, added that, and that's what happens, continuously at the end of every bootcamp. Can we add this? This is like a very in demand skill. Or can we add this? Can we add that? And that's what you get from our KY, really. So yeah, that's the schedule of the bootcamp. I hope that answers your question. What's the length of reference you give? So because you'll be getting free CV and LinkedIn service from us, right? Which is a complimentary, advantage as well. And on our CV template, we do not put months on them. So you get a 2023 to date reference on your CV, because, or 2023 to date on your CV. So I believe that's fair enough. Can someone without banking background join? Thank you for the question, everyone. I don't know if you joined late. I just spoke about, if you go through our Instagram page, you see 2 back-to-back success stories of people who got jobs with a financial institution, with a bank in the UK. They do not have, I have to go back to their CV again to recheck what their skill sets are, just because I like to stay informed. I like to stay, I want to know what is going on in the industry. A lot of times I'll call me as well, what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the industry. Like, I like to keep myself updated. I want to know patterns, because I'm an analyst, right? I want to know what the pattern is. Is it that people that are getting the jobs are the ones that have the banking experience, or is it the one that have the legal experience? But however, the last few success stories we had, they did not have any bank on their CV. They do not have any bank on their CV, right? And they were able to, even before they even landed these final roles, they've had interviews with JP Morgan, Barclays, First Bank UK. Those are the companies that our students get interviews with, right? So yeah, those are the banks or institutions, and you don't need to have a banking experience. You don't even have to be a lawyer or be an ex-lawyer or whatever. You just have to have an interest to want to transition and be determined to follow through to complete your projects. And let me tell you something, those who have actually shared their success story in our bootcamp within a short period of time are those who actually were very active in class, completed their projects, and actually took the step after. Because we have a lot of people joining bootcamps. You join bootcamp, you pay, and then we have to beg you to attend classes. We have to beg you to do your projects. That's not the way we want to roll, because everybody should be responsible for their, success as well. In as much as we are going to share it, because we're part of it, you should also want to have it. You paid for it, right? Those are the people that have actually been able to get their success quicker are people that put in the work. And to be honest, I would rather put in the work and sacrifice and be able to change my situation than be using that my warehouse job as an excuse for not moving from it. I want to move away from it, yet is the reason why I'm not moving away from it. I find that very funny anyways when I have people that have those kind of situations. But yes, I believe that answers your question about banking background. You don't need to have banking background. And another advantage is that even compliance is not even limited to just banking. If you don't want to work with banks, that is still fine. There's compliance across industries. There's compliance in the health and care industry. Any industry that has regulatory framework that guides the way they do things. Compliance are the people that ensure that whatever that regulation is followed or adhered to. So, as an accountant in practice in the UK, what would be your advice on either KYC or data analyst? I think that would depend on your interests. The two are equally, it depends on your interest of what your going forward is for you. The two are equally, would be equally beneficial for someone who is a finance or accountant. We can take this outside of this place, to talk better about it. So if you already have data analytical skill sets, right, you can use analytical tools. I would say explore something else, right? But if you don't have analytical tools, I would even advise a KYC person to also consider data analysis as well, because analytical tools are in demand across roles. So it depends on what stage you're. And moreover, when you even get a job, don't let it stop there. Continue to improve yourself. You got a job as a KYC analyst today. Yes, congratulations, you've broken into the market. What more can you do? What more can you add to what you already have to get you to where you want to be? That's the mindset we should have. Okay, do you offer one-to-one career coaching sessions? If yes, how much? I think we should take that on our Instagram page, because we need to know what you mean by one-to-one coaching session. Will it be possible to talk to you privately? Yes, you can book a consultation, a one-off consultation, So I don't know if that's what Debola also means by one-to-one career coaching session, right? But if that's what it is, if you go to our link tree on Instagram and you see consultation, career advisory, so you can click on that to book to speak to me privately. We'll have a meeting. Are KYC AML jobs done remotely? Notice the job vacancies are mostly available in London. They are mostly remote jobs. Even a couple of the ones I shared this week, they are all remote work from home jobs, So they are mostly remote jobs. Even if they will get you to come in, it's probably be hybrid, because everybody's trying to save costs. Even my own bank that I work, they've leased half of their building just because they want to save operating costs. So they don't even want us to come to work. If you want to go to work, they have to book. And there's always a long queue. So, yeah. Okay, so during the interview process, you can have your mock interview in class so that everyone will gain from it. I've been working remotely since 2020. So that's it. Lumi has also given you answer to your questions. So the thing is that in the community, that's the alumni community, during your bootcamp, even in our alumni, like bootcamp cohort 3, we still have people dropping questions they get at interview day for people to give their ideas, and our facilitators are also in those groups to drop their 2 cents or 3 cents as well. So to be honest, you're not going to be left hanging. So we're not just going to collect your money. Of course, we also have our availability restrictions. But we'll try to even if we cannot talk to you when you have interview, because we also have tight schedules, we'll send you resources. Even our LMS is filled with resources on its own. So you've heard me say that I spoke to somebody just now before this that is on alumni group and all that. Shegun also attested to the fact that we are reachable. We're not going to just, because I've heard about people pay before you paid for the bootcamp, they will pick your calls and all that, and the moment you pay, to get somebody to talk to will be a problem. That's not the case here. So I believe we've answered all your questions. It's been a very wonderful, how many hours now? 1 hour 30 minutes, right? Or 38 minutes, with everyone here. So if you want to ask personal questions, you want to talk further about your installments, you want to talk about payments and all that, please send me a DM on Instagram, RKY Careers, RKY Careers on across all our platforms. So the video recording of this as well will be on YouTube. Say you want to rewatch to understand anything you missed, you joined late, or you want to share with somebody that you believe that this is the best for them, or you want to join with your friends and family, you want to just watch to also get convinced, like you are convinced as well. Please would put out the YouTube link by Monday. So the next cohort date is August 5. That's 2 weeks time, if I'm right. And classes are 4 to 6 p.m. Please, RKY, I sent a day, but I got an auto response, which is fine, because auto response is what you will get, because RKY is in a meeting right now, and RKY will revisit your message and respond to it as soon as she's available too. So, yeah, that's it really. I can't wait to see you at the other side, where we all get to get to work together better. Thanks so much, Lumi. Thanks, Shegme, if you're still on the call, for taking out time, to show our prospective students Thank you, Onome, for attesting. Onome says RPY is always reachable. I'm a witness to that. Thank you, Onome, for attesting to that. When is the data analysis bootcamp? Data analysis bootcamp is end of August, August 26th to be precise, while we have the UK compliance August 5th, Excel and PowerPoint August 5th as well. Yeah, so it's been nice, talking, chatting, with, I even feel like we're already having, a class, So I can't wait to see you on August 5, And yeah, I think that's it from my end. Thanks so much for attending, everyone. Let's have a great afternoon and rest of the day.